And we're talking about how people could heal or at least be better about treating things like cancer. Now, today we'll hone in on nutrition and cancer, why nutrition is important in combating cancer. And we'll talk to our clinical dietitian for today, Ama Pokua Ifriye. Good morning, Ama. Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. So, cancer and nutrition, what's the correlation here?
Okay. So, nutrition plays a role in every single thing, every single individual throughout the life cycle of every human being.
Okay.
And that's exactly how we should see it. So, nutrition plays a role in cancer, in all the lifestyle diseases that we currently see a trend in. Nutrition plays a role in the basics, like your day-to-day activities, etc.
Okay. So just give us a quick overview of what exactly cancer is, and then we'll hone in specifically, since it's the month of cervical cancer or cervical cancer, as some say, we'll hone in specifically on that. So talk to us about what cancer is and then cervical cancer.
All right. So cancers it's like a generic name for, or that describes the abnormal growth of certain cells, mostly due to mutations. So some of these abnormal growth can spread across the body. Sometimes it starts from particular tissues or organs, and then it can metastasize and go through a lot of other organs. So that's what cancer is. And I mean, since this month is like the Cervical Cancer Awareness Month, we'll probably talk about cervical cancer briefly as well.
Okay.
So cervical cancer is the cancer of the cervix. So it's the mutation and the abnormal growth of like the cervix cells and everything in there. So it's usually caused, or it's like triggered by HPV, so viruses. So you hear that during the awareness month and cervical cancer month itself, they talk about screenings, they talk about get tested, get vaccinated, etc. So yes.
Okay. So talk to us about how diet and nutrition plays a role either in causing cancer or trying to prevent it or even treat it.
All right. So just like I said, nutrition is a very important thing, especially if you want to combat certain lifestyle diseases. So nutrition and diet can be either protective or harmful. So it can either predispose you or it can prevent you from getting these kind of cancers we are talking about. So, I mean, generally, cancers have other risk factors and predisposition factors.
Right.
So we have age, even race, so black, white, Caucasian, everything. It can predispose you to certain cancers. All right. The kind of food you eat, so the diet can predispose you, or it can, just like I said, protect you from certain cancers. So that's what we, always advocate for in the hospitals when we go for talks, that you probably would want to be on the protective side of the diet instead of the harmful side of the diet. Exactly.
Give us an example of foods that fall under the protective category and those that fall under the harmful category when it comes to cancer.
All right. So generally, foods that are very high in saturated fats, trans fats, added sugars, refined foods in general always predispose you to certain type of cancers.
So our junk food.
Yes, junk
or
food.
fried foods.
Fried foods. Very highly westernized foods.
Okay.
Foods with no fiber. Foods that are very refined. So just like added sugar, added fats, no fiber.
All the tasty things.
All the tasty things. Yes.
Why is it always that way? Like burger. Okay, so you can see the images you've got here. You've got the burgers and fries and pizza and milkshakes and donuts and candy and soft drinks, and all of that stuff could increase your risk of getting cancer. Your risk.
Yes.
And it's all the stuff that we love to indulge in when we want to treat ourselves, right?
Yes.
Always the tasty stuff is bad.
Always
okay.
the tasty stuff.
It's bad. Now, how about those that could protect you or prevent you from getting cancer?
So we usually advocate for dietary fiber, foods that are high in antioxidants. So common foods that are high in antioxidants are fruits and vegetables, very high. And that's what Ghanaians are almost allergic to, it may seem. So yes.
You know, it's so funny to me. It's like the stuff that's tastiest is bad for you, and the stuff that maybe is not as tasty is the best for you. Oh God, why did you make it such a?
Well, I beg to differ, because I feel like our menu, our recipes could change around vegetables. You know, how to make vegetable taste pleasing, it's very possible. I feel like most of us are very closed off to the idea, so we don't like to explore that option, but it should be an option to explore.
Yeah, especially for our health,
Yeah,
right? Good
especially
health.
for our health.
Okay, now let's hone in specifically on cervical cancer, which again, it seems like it's one of the highest, or people are seeing a lot of high incidences of cervical cancer among young women, and it's number one cancer killer among women in Ghana now. So diet-wise, what should we be looking out for?
Okay, so some, randomized control trials, some like experiments, mostly outside the country, have shown that in certain people who ate certain foods that contain certain antioxidants and nutrients were a bit protected.
Okay.
And could fight off the HPV even if they were exposed to it. So we would first look at foods that are high in folate.
Okay.
So we have most of the green leafy. So in our Ghanaian set, ale, fu, kontomire. I think broccoli is common now, I think. We have even cauliflower in there. We have some fruits, pawpaw. We have avocado as well. And then we have some beans, legumes. So our beans, like the gobe that people enjoy, it's very high in folate, and then it's quite good in the protective sense. And we also have bell pepper, beetroot as well, and then seeds and nuts, okra as well. So green leafy in general usually has a lot of folate, which has been found to, be a bit protective towards cervical cancer.
Okay.
Aside the folate, we also have foods that are rich in vitamin D. So we have eggs, we have fish.
The superfood of egg. Oh, egg. What do we do without eggs?
What we do
honestly?
without eggs, exactly. Mango, cheese, bell pepper as well, pawpaw. So I feel like sometimes if economic hardship, so you want to like cut across, maybe you can go in for the pawpaw because it hits both folate and then vitamin D. So, just try to balance, because we get these reports a lot. People are saying, oh, it's expensive, we can't afford it, stuff like that. So, there's a way to go around each of them. There's also avocado in here, there's broccoli in here as well. We have sweet potatoes, carrots, cheese. But cheese, we look at the portions so you don't overeat them or anything like that.
And then
All right. And then lastly, we have lycopene. Foods that are rich in lycopene. So it's called...
all the reds.
Yes, the red,
wow.
the yellow. Most of the bright fruits and vegetables are very rich in lycopene. So tomatoes, watermelon, mango, onion, cherries, strawberry, red apples, pawpaw. All these things have a lot of lycopene.
Oh, but for this one, we're okay. Tomato is like almost every food we eat.
Yes.
And onion.
Yes.
So we're getting a lot of that. Pawpaw is pretty common, Mango comes in and out of season.
Okay. So I also chip in that we are entitled to way more servings of fruits and vegetables that we actually are eating as Ghanaians. And sometimes the cooking method, so we cook tomatoes, we cook onions. So, most of the time, it would probably, reduce the amount of lycopene you have.
We kill the nutrients.
Sometimes, our foods are on fire for the longest time ever.
True.
So if we could just have some, fruits that, you just wash, so at least you can have it in its raw state and then, experience the benefits of it entirely. I think that would be better.
So, making the fresh red pepper to eat with your fish, that's better, because you've got the raw tomato, raw onion.
Yes.
So that's a bit better than the stew that is on the fire for
So you could have your stew normally, but if you want to supplement for extra lycopene, you probably should be looking at other ways to incorporate other foods that don't necessarily have to be on fire for long.
Okay.
Exactly. So just like we say, you have your 3 main meals. So your snack options, you can have even a tomato juice. You can have watermelon juice, something.
Okay.
So,
that's become very popular too, watermelon juice. We're seeing it a lot more now, so maybe.
Yeah, but just like I always say, in as much as we are trying to be healthy, moderation and portion sizes are very important based on your individual specifications or needs. Sometimes people have reasons to limit certain things. So the fact that it's high in lycopene doesn't mean you should, go overboard. Exactly.
Okay, got it. Okay, so just give us your general advice and closing remarks with regard to diet or nutrition and cancer, and just our general eating habits.
All right. So I'd say that these lifestyle diseases are no more diseases of the old. It's more common amongst all ages now. For cervical cancer, exactly. safe sex practices, get tested, get vaccinated. It's very, I mean, a lot of hospitals run free screenings. You just do that and then you get vaccinated. And then when it comes to the diet aspect, I would always advocate people to eat healthy. So healthy eating is not very difficult. It's very easy to go around. That's provided you are determined to do it.
You know, right? We make excuses.
Yes, exactly.
But it's not as difficult as we make it seem.
And I always say health issues are very costly. So try as much as possible to make sure you are safe and sound. And if you need further help concerning your diet, knowing what exactly you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do, based on your medical history, etc., you probably should see a dietitian. And when I say a dietitian, not someone just like, around. Go to a hospital, contact one, get the information you need, get a diet plan so you can, live your life very healthy and well. Yeah.
I like what you said though, about how healthcare is very costly. Because we complain about some of the costs of these foods, but if we get sick, you find money to pay to treat that illness, and it could cost you so much money. So it's like, okay, pay a bit of money to be healthy or pay a lot of money to treat sickness.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay, how do people get in touch with you?
All right, so I'll leave my number so it can be on the screens, but my number is +233 504 982068.
Okay.
Yes, so you could leave me a WhatsApp or you could call for any clarifications whatsoever.
And are you on social media?
Yes, I am on social media. So I am on social media at iampokey.com. I am Pokey on Twitter, Instagram.
Okay.
Yes, I think both. And for my Instagram, I have I Nourish Hub. So I'd probably have to spell that so people get that right. So I Nourish is spelled as INOURISH, then _ Hub, HUB. So it's I Nourish Hub on both Instagram and Twitter. So you can contact me on any of those platforms as well.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Clinical dietitian. She's been educating us about how and what we should eat to prevent cancer, or at least reduce our risks of contracting cancer, and what to stay, or developing cancer, I should say, and what foods to stay away from to reduce our risks of developing cancer. And of course, the specific focus on cervical cancer, because this is Cervical Cancer Month, Awareness Month. Thanks again to Amma for joining us.